Hello, everyone, and welcome back to The Rundown, where we talk about 2A news and conservative views. I will be your host today, Craig DeLuz, coming at you from the West Coast, the left coast, behind the Iron Curtain, otherwise known as the Sierras. And today we will be celebrating Hump Day.
Mike. What day is it, Mike?
It's hump day.
Hump day!
It's hump day.
Hump day!
All right, you guys might have noticed the little question mark there next to me. Well, Mike is going to be off all of the rest of this week, so it's just going to be us, ladies and gents. It's just going to be you and I, and we're going to have a good time with it. So very much appreciate you guys tuning in. Appreciate you liking and sharing the program and encouraging your friends to do the same. Now, I don't know how your 4th of July was. I can just tell you right now, mine was phenomenal. I had a great time. Once again, we always get together. We do the big family and friends gatherings and partake of barbecue and other stuff. Plenty of free spirits, or not free spirits, but plenty of spirits, as well as, spend some time swimming and, all the fun stuff that we'd like to do on the 4th of July, celebrating our independence. That's right. And for those of you who are unaware, just understand this. When we celebrate independence, it's all about the idea that a group of armed individuals refused to give up their guns to a government who was overly taxing them, and then they refused to pay their taxes. So just so you know and understand, that's what went on during the war. Okay, it was a little bit more than that, but the point is that it's not just about the barbecue; it's about independence. And I always take it a point in the morning on every Independence Day to actually read the Declaration of Independence, so that I know and I understand exactly what was being declared and what it is that we're celebrating. So I hope I know it's the day after. I probably should have told you before to do that, but if you didn't do it, hey, how about you take some time out today? Go ahead and read that Declaration of Independence and enjoy your liberty and freedom. Freedoms that are uniquely ours here in these United States. All right, next, we're going to go ahead, before we get into our news stories today, I want to go ahead and give a shout out to our sponsors. We're going to start with Hitman Industries. If you own an AR or you would like to build an AR, let me suggest a place to you to go and get your barrels. Hitman Industries, go to hitmanindustries.net. There they've got rifle and, by the way, pistol length barrels. By the way, Glock barrels are coming soon, so keep your eyes out. But a great place to get your barrels. If you own an AR that you've purchased recently, chances are you probably already have one of their barrels. So why not get another one? Why not do a rebuild? Why not do a brand new build? Whatever you decide to do, go ahead and do it with the folks over there at Hitman Industries. Then we've got the California Republican Assembly. Ronald Reagan referred to them as the conscience of the Republican Party. I prefer to refer to them as the Republican wing of the Republican Party in the state of California. But in any case, they are working to help elect conservatives from everything from school board all the way up to President of the United States. Would like to encourage you to go to their website. That's cragop.org. It's cragop.org. Visit them, check them out, and I promise you will. If you don't become a member, it's probably only going to be because you don't live in California. But I'm sure you know someone who does, so refer it to them. If you want to be a part of California's future today, join CRA. Then we've got Hog Holsters, helping Americans wear guns. Just go to hogholsters.com. You can find the best inside the waistband, outside the waistband, tactical holsters, concealed carry holsters, whatever you're looking for a holster for. Trust me, you'll find it, and you'll find one with your particular setup. So check them out, hogholsters.com. Make sure you use the discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Get your hog holster today. And finally, if you're looking for outdoor gear, tactical gear, cold weather gear, warm weather gear, whatever you're looking for in terms of gear, you'll find it at uscombatgear.com. Veteran-owned and operated, fast shipping, great prices, and quality customer service. Please visit them today, uscombatgear.com. And with that, we're going to go ahead and get into our stories today. The first one, no big surprise here. I wish I could say I was surprised, but the reality, well, I'll just tell you the story. It turns out that there was a substance that was discovered at the White House, well, it turns out they found out that that substance happened to be cocaine. Let's read the story here real quick. It says the Secret Service confirmed Wednesday that a substance found at the White House over the weekend was cocaine. The Secret Service is still investigating the cause and manner of how it entered the White House, it said. On Sunday, the White House complex went into a precautionary closure as officers from the Secret Service Uniformed Division investigated an unknown item found inside a work area. The Secret Service said in a statement the D.C. Fire Department also was called to evaluate the item, which it quickly determined was non-hazardous. The item was sent for further evaluation, which was when it was confirmed to be cocaine. The White House press secretary, Karine Jean-Pierre, fielded questions on the matter Wednesday, telling reporters that President Biden has been briefed on the situation and that the administration is confident the Secret Service can get to the bottom of the situation. Well, let's just put it this way. Was Hunter by anytime soon? Had he possibly visited? I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? You think that's a possibility?
Cocaine's a hell of a drug.
Or maybe it was Rick James. Maybe Rick James decided to stop by and visit the White House. I have to say this. I think that explains a lot, because one would hate to think that they are just so stupid over there at the White House that they could go about destroying this country without being high. I mean, we already know the president is, well, we already know he's already mentally altered, which is probably more caused by his dementia and senility. But the fact that his staff is utilizing cocaine, or cocaine was found there in the White House work area. Why? Once again, I'm not surprised. Big story, interesting story. It's our lead story just because it's hilarious. Honestly, that's the only reason I have it as my lead story today. But once again, never to be outdone. This White House continues to sink to new lows, and just hilarity. The things that are happening at this White House. I mean, Hunter Biden has given the term White House a whole new meaning. And once again, we have our good friend, Mr. Joe Biden, or the people who elected Joe Biden. We have them to thank for the fun that is now currently, call it the White House. But anyway, moving right along. Okay, Biden administration has been ordered to not contact social media. Okay, this is a crazy one, because this is actually part of a lawsuit. This is actually a federal judge has ruled this. Let's go to the story. All right, here you have the Biden administration is ordered to limit social media context. A federal judge in Louisiana ordered key Biden administration officials and agencies not to contact social media platforms to suppress speakers and viewpoints they disagree with, in a major development that pits free speech rights against government efforts to curb misinformation. The ruling came in a case filed by Louisiana and Missouri attorneys general, who had claimed that the Biden administration was trying to silence views and speakers who questioned its COVID policies and questioned the validity of the 2020 election. U.S. District Judge Terry Terry A. Doughty, in Monroe, Louisiana, said in the Tuesday ruling that large swaths of the government, including the Department of Health and Human Services and the Federal Bureau of Investigation, couldn't talk to social media companies for the purpose of urging, encouraging, pressuring, or inducing in any manner the removal, deletion, suppression, or reduction of content containing protected free speech. The present case arguably involves the most massive attack against free speech in the United States history, Doughty wrote. In their attempts to suppress alleged disinformation, the federal government, and particularly the defendant's name here, are alleged to have blatantly ignored the First Amendment and the right to freedom of speech and the right to free speech. Well, folks, you and I know this is absolutely nothing new. Nothing new for us. We know this. I mean, like I said, you guys may remember, we lost a YouTube channel over this. I personally lost my entire, I literally lost all of my contact. I literally do not have a personal YouTube page. Once again, because I lost my personal YouTube page over this stuff. And we now know that this is, once again, we know that the government's involved in this, but I just think it's a tremendous slap in the face to the Biden administration. Once again, I am hoping that this particular ruling, that somehow in this ruling that there will be made something available so that people who have lost, because like I said, I've lost two channels. I've lost access to YouTube personally. I mean, I literally have to create another account, Gmail account, in order to be able to get back into YouTube. All because we raise questions about the White House. By the way, just so you know, about stuff that we now know to be true. That's the funny part. We now know a bunch of the stuff that we were talking about, a bunch of the stuff for which our channels were lost, and it's all true now. Or at the very least, it is plausible. It's not a whacked out crazy scheme. In other words, we're not spreading disinformation. We're actually spreading information and preventing the White House and preventing the administration from spreading disinformation, because they're the ones who are in fact lying. They're the ones who are in fact providing the disinformation. But once again, you wouldn't know that to listen to the mainstream media. But anyway, that's going to be interesting. I can't wait to see what the end of that particular case winds up looking like. All right, on to our next story. Bidenomics is failing to win over the public. That's right. They're doing a Bidenomics tour. In case you did not know, you've got administration officials who have kind of fanned out across the country, and they're traveling far and wide to try and convince you that, well, things are actually pretty good, that the economy is going great, and that Biden's plans for the economy is going great. But the problem is Biden had a 60% disapproval rating on the economy in the Fox News poll in June. Let's see here. President Biden and several of his top cabinet officials will travel across the country over the next 2 days to tout Bidenomics, as polls continue showing strong disapproval of the president's economic policies. Biden will travel Tuesday to South Carolina to announce new spending on clean energy manufacturing, according to a White House official. Vice President Kamala Harris will travel Thursday to Gila River Indian Reservation in Arizona to highlight how the infrastructure law will boost spending on Native American lands. Other top officials traveling Thursday on behalf of the administration include Transportation Secretary Pete Buttigieg to Washington, Health and Human Services Secretary Javier Becerra to Ohio, and Interior Secretary Deborah Haaland to New York. And now, folks, let us not be fooled. This is a full court press, right? This is a full court press to convince you that your eyes are lying to you. That when you go into the grocery store and you buy stuff, that's actually not really true. It's not really that expensive, right? When you used to go into the grocery store and leave with about a cart and spent about $200 to $250, and now you go into that very same store and you're walking out having spent like $350, $400. Yeah, that's not real, right? Because, well, we're gonna have green energy manufacturing, right? And that's gonna make things happen. That's gonna make things cool. We're gonna be well off and well to do because of that. The fact that we're gonna now spend money on Indian reservations. So in other words, we have this massive spending bill, and we're gonna use a big chunk of it, and we're gonna do construction projects or infrastructure projects on Indian reservations. Not that I got anything against Indian reservations, but I mean, why is it all they have to go and they're all going and they're promoting these little niche things that they're spending trillions of dollars on and trying to convince us that that is good for the economy, that because they passed that all of a sudden the economy is doing great. I'm sorry, but it's not. Businesses are slowing down on their hiring when they can, well, first of all, when they can hire. You've got wages have gone down. I read the statistic last week. So during the Trump administration, average real wages, right, adjusted for inflation, actually went up $6,000 per household. And sadly, under Biden, and by the way, that was the first time that household wages had gone up in something like 50, 60 years, right? Real, actual inflation-adjusted wages actually went up. And then under the Biden administration, that has actually gone down $4,000. Household wages have actually decreased under the Biden administration. So if things are costing more, if wages are going down, if we have gone from energy independence to energy dependence, that is a pretty good signal that Bidenomics is failing miserably. And just so you know, Bidenomics is, in essence, printing money and spending money on pet projects and giving it to constituencies, giving it to special interests, and then forcing the taxpayers to either pay more taxes or pay the hidden tax of inflation. That is the sum total of what Bidenomics are. And once again, he is convinced, or at least is trying to convince you, that is a good thing, and that you are actually doing quite well. I don't know about you, but I'm not seeing it. Anyway, moving on to our next story. There was, you probably saw that there was a shooting that took place in Philadelphia. It was a mass shooting. It's kind of interesting that a lot of the details have come out yet in total about this. But you had an individual who, some have said he is transgendered. Some have said no. There's not a lot of information out there about this thing. But basically, this individual just went out and just started shooting. Shot 5 people, shot 7 people. 5 of them are dead. So 5 of them have passed away. And once again, the individual had they call it, an AR style rifle, although they call it an AR style assault rifle. And no, an assault rifle is a fully automatic rifle, not an AR. Anyway, all that having been said, as a result of it, you've got 2 notable politicians there in Philadelphia who have some not very nice things to say about firearm industry, and those who work in the industry and those who advocate on behalf of the Second Amendment. Check it out.
The day matters. I think that any day that something like this happens, it's a tragic occurrence. The question I have is, where does a person like this get an AR-15? Where does a person like this get a semi-automatic handgun? Where does a person like this buy Kevlar vest? This country needs to re-examine its conscience when it comes to Congress or the state legislature and try to figure out how we get these guns out of these people's hands. My understanding, I don't know how many more guns he had. The parent had a stockpile of guns in his house in addition, and we should try to figure out where he got those weapons, and that gun dealer or that gun show should be sued until they're out of business. And it's just ridiculous. And I think every family member of someone who died or was injured in this incident should get together with a big law firm and take these gun dealers down.
So I'm just curious. So in other words, if no laws were broken, so in other words, and I don't know a lot about his criminal background, so I don't know if this was a person who is prohibited from owning firearms due to either mental illness or due to commission of a violent crime or felony. But if the individual, if the store, the person who sold the firearm, did everything legally, right? And this individual decided, by the way, including the Kevlar, the person who decided to wear the bulletproof vest, or the body armor. I'll call it body armor because it's not bulletproof. I don't know. Anyway, If they did everything legally and they did everything correct, why should they be able to be sued? If this individual were mowing people down with his car, should you then be able to sue the person who sold him the car? Should you be able to sue the state for giving him a license to be able to drive? One has to raise the question. One has to wonder. But this is about a lot more than that. I mean, you've got other politicians there in Philadelphia. In fact, that you've got the district attorney who also had some choice words to say for those who support the Second Amendment.
Finally, I just want to say this. It is disgusting, the lack of proper gun legislation that we have in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. I cannot agree more heartily with the mayor. It is disgusting that you can go to New Jersey and find a whole list of reasonable gun regulation that we don't have, that you can go to Delaware and there's almost as long a list of reasonable gun legislation that we don't have. Some of that legislation might have made a difference here. And it is time for everybody in our legislature, including the ones who would like to walk around with an AR-15 lapel pin, it is time for every one of them to face the voters. And if they're not going to do something, then the voters are going to have to vote them out. Because that's what that lapel pin means. It means vote me out. I am against you, and I am against your safety. And a lot of us have had enough of it. I can tell you I certainly have had enough.
Now, mind you, keep in mind that this is a guy who was there was a vote to impeach him in the Pennsylvania legislature. I mean, this is a guy who has overseen some of the one of the most dramatic increases in crime in Philadelphia's history. He is a soft on crime district attorney, and there's no other way to put it. You notice he doesn't say at all, he doesn't declare at all which specific laws, had they been put in place, would have or could have changed this or turn this around. And by the way, I still don't understand why there is the emphasis on the fact that the guy wore body armor. I know why, because they want to ban body armor. They want to make it so that individuals do not have the ability to be able to protect and defend themselves. Because guess what? Criminals are still going to have body armor if that's what they want. This is all about denying law-abiding citizens. And by the way, he mentioned New Jersey. New Jersey has also seen dramatic increases in crime. This is about the policies that they are pushing, that the Democratic Party is pushing, that are causing, and once again, an increase in crime. In fact, after a dramatic increase, the highest murder rate that Philadelphia had seen this year, even though the murder rate wasn't up this year, violent crime in Philadelphia is up this year. And once again, you have this guy to thank. You have this guy to thank, and the policies that are passed by this in the city of Philadelphia. So, I just keep wondering why they feel that it is appropriate for them to come after the rights of individuals who literally want nothing more than to be able to defend themselves. I don't understand why they think that it's appropriate or why they should be going after our rights, but they do. And I just so you guys know, Mr. Krasner, that's his name. Just know that when he comes up for re-election, y'all out there in Philadelphia, just handle dude for us. All right. All right, now we're going to move on to our parting shots, brought to you by Hog Holsters. Get your Hog Holster today. Go to hogholster.com. Use discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Get your Hog Holster today. In honor of stuff about the White House, we decided to go with this one today. It's Hunter as Sherlock Holmes in the case of the mysterious white powder in the West Wing Library. Just a side note here, folks. Thanks to Hunter Biden, the title of White House has an entirely new meaning. Great job, Biden family. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. And I'm sure you guys have seen this one before, but I find it to be fun nonetheless. Here you have, are you awake yet? In the 1960s, oil will be gone in 10 years. That's what they were saying. In the 1970s, another ice age in 10 years. And then in the 1980s, we had acid rain will destroy all crops in 10 years. Then in the 1990s, the ozone layer will be gone in 10 years. And in 2000, the polar ice caps will be gone in 10 years. None happened, but all resulted in more taxes. Now, there is a bright way to take this. There is a silver lining to this, and it's something I think to brag about. That's the fact that, I don't mean to brag, but this is like the 10th end of the world I've survived. Fun stuff? Yes? No? Maybe? I think it's fun. I think it's hilarious, and I'm sure that you do too. All right. Okie dokie, folks. Let's see where we at here. Okay. So I guess that's going to be it for today. But before we go, we're going to give our second shout out to our sponsors, Hitman Industries. Get your rifle and pistol length barrels today at hitmanindustries.net. Become a part of California's future today. Join CRA. And then get your hog holster at hogholster.com. Make sure you use discount code The Rundown, all caps, no spaces. Hog holsters. Get them today. And then get your outdoor gear, tactical gear, winter gear, summer gear, hiking gear, whatever it is, camping gear. Get it at uscombatgear.com. And with that, we're going to go ahead and call it a day. We very much appreciate you tuning in. We appreciate you liking and sharing the program and encouraging your friends to do the same. I will be back with you tomorrow on Throat Punch Thursday. So y'all have fun, and we will see you mañana.